This show is brought to you by John Hughes and ORE Off-Road Equipment. Welcome to DriveWA. Today, the team are going to get up close and personal with some critters on Exmouth's famous Ningaloo Reef. Cup of tea, anyone? Well, I'd rather swim with some whale sharks. The Ningaloo Reef, one of nature's most awesome creations. But to get to some of the best spots, you'll need a boat and a guide, and preferably the Keshi Mare. This is the pride of the team at Ocean Eco Adventures, who invited Mark and Taryn to join them on one of their exciting marine eco tours, which could include swimming with whale sharks, manta rays, turtles, dolphins and dugong. April through to October is the perfect time to visit the Ningaloo, and Andy's team on the Keshi Mare bring 15 years of experience in the area along for the ride. So, now everyone's on board, let's meet Andy.
You'll find the toilet in here. It's just a normal household toilet. Just press the button on top of the system when you're finished. If for some reason it's blocked or it doesn't flush, just please see one of the crew, preferably not me, and I'm sure they'll be thrilled to bits to sort it out for you. So what we're going to do this morning is just head down the lagoon away and have a quick snorkel before we head outside the reef, just to make sure that everyone's comfortable in the water and that all of your gear's working properly. Once we've finished with our snorkel, our spotter plane's due up at about 11:15. From there, we'll head outside the reef and devote as much of the rest of the day as we need to looking for whale sharks. Once we've had our snorkel and some morning tea, we'll give you a comprehensive interaction briefing and go from there. All right. So everyone understand all of that? Yes. Are there any questions? No? All right. If you haven't understood something I've said, or you forget during the day, just please don't be embarrassed to ask the crew. That's what we're here for. All right. So if everyone's happy, let's be on our way. All right. It's been a particularly good shark aggregation this year.
Right.
It's been very good, and so we're really rather pleased. Everyone's had a good go at it all.
Yeah.
It's good to see the numbers of sharks aren't dwindling at all. I think there's a paper being released recently that says that the shark numbers seem to be increasing in this area. So
that's always a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, for a threatened species.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. Now, tell us a little bit about your boat. It's fantastic.
Keshi Mare, she's our pride and joy. She's a 17-metre image built in Fremantle, and she started out her life as a lobster boat, but she's ideal for what we do now. And so all we need is a nice big flat shaded wet deck, a little bit of comfort up here, and we've got some good accommodation downstairs. She's quick when she needs to be, and she's comfortable for what we do, so yeah, we like her a lot. Yeah,
no, she's a lovely boat, mate. She's brilliant for the disabled as well. Plenty of room.
Yeah, good access. We've built the marlin board at the back specifically so the timber, so it's nice soft landing and nice and broad, so that it was easy. We had a gentleman in a wheelchair yesterday, no mountain, no problem at all.
Right.
We try and be as universal about all of this as we possibly can. So anything from infants through to those who are at the opposite end of their lives.
Or the better end, some say.
Some would say, I mean, infants can't argue with that, can they?
No, that's right, they can't, mate, they can't. Well, she's a bit swelly here today, and the old boat's handling it really well. No one's been sick, I noticed, so that's always a good thing.
That's always a good start. We've got face towels and plenty of water and ginger tea for those who might succumb later on.
And there probably will be at least one or two, maybe. You never know.
You never know, with a bit of luck not, but like you say, she's a little bit lumpy out here this morning, but We had that big storm through Perth yesterday, so I guess we'll get a bit of wind today and tomorrow, and then it'll all settle back down into the glorious Ningaloo winter.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, mate, it's great. I'm looking forward to a brilliant day. You've got a lovely boat. I'm going to go up the front and I'm going to see if I can spot some whale sharks for you.
Let's see if you can spot me a whale shark. If you do, I'll buy you a beer at the end of the day.
I'll definitely spot one.
Righto.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah.
Cheers. For a moment, I'll give you a quick snorkel brief, and then that way those of you who are ready can go straight into the water, and those of you who are still getting organised can follow afterwards. So this will be our first snorkel site for today. So the site it's a bit hard to see into the sun, but it starts straight at the back of the boat and spreads out over into this area here. So what we have is some nice young staghorn, so the bright blue stuff, some plate corals, some asparagus coral, some cabbage coral, and some quite large parietal bommies, which are your big mushroom bommies. In amongst it all, you'll find everything from your little blue-green chromas up to reef sharks and turtles. So if you do see something like a reef shark or a turtle, rather than swimming straight after it, just swim parallel or maybe a little bit closer. But what you'll find if you swim straight at it, is that it can swim much faster than you can, and all you'll see is the back end of it as it disappears into the distance. This is okay in scuba diving language. If you see one of the crew doing this to you throughout the day while you're in the water, it means we're asking you if you're all right, not telling you that we are. So please, there's no problem, just return the favour. If for some reason you need a lift back to the boat, you're getting tired or you've fallen away from the whale shark or you can't swim against the current, but there's no problem, this is a taxi signal. So same again, you'll get an okay signal back from the boat, just means yes, we've seen you, we'll come and get you as soon as we can. So if we're anchored up, we'll come and get you in the tender. If we're out in the open with a whale shark, we'll circle back around with the big boat and come and grab you. So once you've seen the OK signal, just drop your arm down, but just remember it might take us a couple of minutes to come and grab you. If you have a problem and you need assistance, this is the stress. So please only use this if you really need help. Same again, you'll get an OK signal back from the boat, means yes, we've seen you, we'll be there as fast as we possibly can. So you're all wearing full-length wetsuits. The suit acts as a flotation aid. You can't sink even if you want to. So all you need to do, once you've seen the OK signal come back from the boat, just tread water normally, turn your back to the wind so you're not getting any spray in your face, drop your snorkel out of your mouth, and we'll be there as soon as we possibly can. And then lastly, if you see one of the crew with their arm up, tapping a wrist and motioning back, it just means it's time to come in. So with that in mind, if you just look back to the boat from time to time just to make sure that we're not trying to get your attention. So we'll be here for about half an hour, so you've got plenty of time. As soon as you're ready to go into the water, you're welcome to go in. If you've got any problems with your gear or you need some snorkeling tuition, just please see one of the crew and we'll see what we can do for you. All right? Everyone good? Beautiful. In you go.
Here she goes, there she's enjoying herself already. What a fantastic day. Oh, she's drove into the rope. Taryn's loving it. I am too, watching. It's a bit too cool for me.
Charter. Most of the others have gotten into most of the food now, but there's still plenty going.
I've got me cup of tea, English brew, love it, don't get any better. I think we've got a bit of lunch coming down soon. I think this is just the starters, just nibblies.
It's great.
Love it. I'm going to stay here, so I'm first in queue. Because you don't get this big for being last in queue.
Three principles with this type of activity. First is patience is a virtue, which starts about now. So it might take us a little bit of time to find what we're looking for, but like I said earlier, we'll need to stay out in the area where we find the sharks. If we go distracting ourselves by snorkeling in the lagoon or wandering into different areas looking for other things, we might actually miss out on what we came to see. So there might be a little bit of waiting around. So don't panic if we don't find anything in the first 5 minutes. We'll devote as much of the day as we need to seeing what we came to see. There's plenty of other things out there at the moment, including humpback whales and manta rays, so there's plenty to keep you amused while we are actually waiting. Second principle is a bird in the hand. So once we actually find a whale shark, what we find sometimes is they go up and down a little bit, or we might find that one dives and doesn't come back and we need to try and find another one. But we will keep going as long as we need to, till hopefully everyone's had a good go. So once again, don't panic if you don't get a good look at the shark the first time you go into the water. With any sort of luck, if the sharks are playing the game, you'll get a few times to roll through. And then lastly, all's well that ends well. So if we all work together with a bit of luck, if the gods are on our side, whichever god it is that brings whale sharks around, then everyone will come away smiling. So with that in mind, the more pairs of eyes we have watching, more chance we have of seeing what we came to see. So a whale shark is a shark, not a whale. So it won't do big breaches out of the water. There'll be no big splashing or crashing. If it does break the surface, it'll be a bit of a surge as it's feeding. Whale shark has a very high rounded dorsal fin and a very tall top tail lobe. So what you'll see is maybe a little bit of this rounded dorsal fin or a flicker of a tail, but what you're most likely to see is a shadow just under the surface of the water about the colour of the timber table and the size of a bus. So if you see something like that, let us know. It's better that we go and investigate than to drive past what we came to see. So we don't actually find a great deal from the boat itself, but of those we do, a decent portion of them are one of the passengers saying, "What's that there?" So don't be afraid to say something. So in a moment, once we get moving, the crew's going to give you an interaction briefing. So please listen very carefully to the briefing. It's designed to give you your best opportunity to interact with these animals and also to protect their welfare, which is equally important. Alrighty, everyone good? Righto, let's go and see what we can find.
Give you a little bit of a briefing on the biology of the whale sharks. I'll fill you in a little bit of information. As Andy said before, the whale shark is a shark, not a whale. So it doesn't come up out of the surface and breach like whales do. It comes up to the surface though for maybe one or two reasons. They can dive down to 1,500 metres and deeper, so you can imagine the water temperature down that deep could be quite cold. So they come up to maybe sun themselves. But a lot of the time they come to the surface is actually the night, and they come up because their food source is on the surface. So they're a filter feeding animal, so they feed on plankton and small nectonic creatures, so larvae of crabs and jellies and things like that, small fish. This area is especially good for it because there's a warm current that comes down from the north called the Lewin current, and a cold current that comes up from the south called the Ningaloo current. Plus with the continental shelf just off the back here, the combination of those causes a big upwelling of that food source and brings it up to the surface. So that's why whale sharks are found here at this time of year in a large number. They can feed in one or two different ways. They either feed actively or passively. If you see them cruising through the water like this, they're actively feeding. So they're hitting food pulses and they're trying to take as much from that food source as they can, whether it be a ball of krill or small crabs in weed or some plankton. A lot of the time though, you just see them cruising and they're cruising along like that. So they're just passively feeding. So they're filtering through the water as they go and just taking the food out of the water as they cruise along. By feeding in those two different ways, they're able to grab, or they're able to get as much of a variety of food as they can. They're quite large animals, so they eat such small things, they've got to take in a large amount for them to grow. Every whale shark has just above its pectoral fins on its body has a pattern of dots and squiggles, and it's unique to every whale shark, so it's like a human fingerprint. And they've set up this computer program that are able to identify individual whale sharks off photos. So you guys that have got underwater cameras today can actually contribute to a bit of research. If you take a photo of this section just here and send it in, they can identify that shark. That shark may already have been spotted somewhere else throughout the world. So that's telling you where it's actually been. If you send in a photo to them and that shark's actually spotted somewhere else throughout the world, they'll actually let you know as well. So it's a really good non-invasive way, an indirect way of getting research, but it's a really effective way. So you guys can contribute to that. They are a vulnerable species, so they are threatened to endangerment. So the more information you find out about them, the better, and the more they're protected, the better. They're fully protected within Australian waters now, and they're getting more and more protected throughout the world. They're still hunted though for the black market for things like their dorsal fin. That can be worth up to $15,000 US, and that might be the only thing that's actually taken from the shark. And so it's the only thing that's taken from some sharks as well. And without their dorsal fin, they can't survive. So it's a really integral part of the shark.
Yeah, got him, thank you.
Oh, no worries.
There we go, we're coming up to it now. I don't know if you can see that. She's probably about 4 metres long. Magnificent creature. Probably a bit hard to pick up in the camera. She's just breaking the surface. There she is. It's not a very big one. Looks about 3 to 4 metres long, but it doesn't matter. This is what we've come to see. See, that's what you need to be, a male whale shark. Look at all them women following him. I want to come back as a male whale shark, not just a whale shark. You've got to be in your element to have all them women following you. Until you have to take them all out to dinner, cost you a fortune. Well, we're doing all right so far. This is our 4th whale shark. We've seen manta rays breaking the surface. Not any dolphins yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if we didn't see a few. Taryn's enjoying herself. She reckons she's over the moon. You can't get her out of the water.
What did you see while you were gone?
Wow, it looks like they're just rushing down to about a 9 metre Millie Celsius, and it's about from the last started boat, the industry, I started counting sharks and turquoise, and there was 18.
Ah, unreal. Fantastic 18 sharks.
I think we're getting a bit of a change coming in. It's calming down a bit.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get a sea breeze. There's no haze out in the sea. Oh, that's great. Dropping out for the afternoon. It's turning into a beautiful day.
That's it. She's turned into a southerly, I think.
I'll try and, I'm just trying to sort of round these off fairly slowly just so you can get you on the right light and you can see the shadow and see the shark and the group coming to it.
How good's that, eh? Right up close to the boat. He's oh, I said about 3 metres. I reckon he's more on 5. He's massive. He's absolutely massive. They do get a lot bigger though. He's checking the boat out. He sees we're no threat. He's just having a look. Looks like he's got a fish underneath him.
Yeah, there was.
Was there? Was there fish underneath him? Yeah. He's having a good look at us. Yeah, he's having a look. He's thinking, oh yeah, he's no threat to me. Yeah, he's no threat to me. I'm off. Fantastic. Nature in the raw. Yeah, see, that's why I didn't go in the water. Brilliant. Yeah, he's off now. He's checked us out. We're no threat. He says, oh, I'll go and see what else I can find.
In the morning, at my best and at my worst, I wanna be loved so much it hurts.
That's the one. The love boat. What? What'd you say? You got wind? Yeah. I'll get out the wind. I thought you said you got wind.
I know.
Fluffy's. Fluffy was a huffy chug. Sit down. Sit down while you're doing that. Oh, did that hurt your bum? Nah. Fluffy was a huffy chuffy tugboat. What a happy boat was he. What are you doing?
Really quick, talk really fast.
Yeah.
And like
Really
I
quick,
just
really quick.
wind it back.
Shut up, I'm a professional.